Hello everyone, let's have more news about the Lakers, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. The NBA's all-time leading scorer recently exercised his $52.6 million player option for the 2025-26 season with the Los Angeles Lakers, making LeBron James the first player to play a 23rd season. The decision, which was announced by Clutch Sports CEO Rich Paul, ensures that James will play an 8th season with the Lakers. He joined the franchise in 2018, leading them to a championship in 2020, but Paul emphasized James's desire to still compete for titles. The contract includes a no-trade clause, allowing James to have control over any potential moves. Although he's still playing at an all-NBA level, second team in 2025, James turns 41 in December, and retirement is inevitable. Last weekend, James was out to dinner with friends, including former Cleveland Cavaliers star Kevin Love, and a portion of the table's conversation spilled over to Instagram, where James can be heard saying, "Savannah wants me to retire in the next year or so." The sad reality is that the end is near for arguably the greatest basketball player who has ever lived. Earlier today, James posted a series of content on Instagram with the four-time NBA champion seemingly having a fun day playing golf. In one of the photos he posted, James is seen wearing a hat that says, "Welcome home," leaving many fans speculating about his future. Braun on the golf course. "Yep, the end is near. LOL," one user said. Los Angeles Lakers star LeBron James was spotted playing golf. "Retirement could be sooner than we think," another fan wrote. "Anything that James does will surely attract media attention, but as the days roll by, his retirement is guaranteed to become more real, and fans are probably going to continue to have their theories." Now let's go to another video.
Our NBA insider, Shams Charania, give it to us. What you got?
Free agent center DeAndre Ayton has reached agreement on a 2-year deal to sign with the Los Angeles Lakers. So Lakers have found their big man, their center, after 2 days into free agency. And now they have the #1 and #3 pick from the 2018 NBA draft with DeAndre Ayton and Luka Doncic. I'm told the Knicks, Clippers, Bucks, Pacers, Cavs, and Nuggets all had interest in Ayton before his decision to sign with the Lakers. Multiple teams also reached out to Portland Trail Blazers general manager Joe Cronin after the buyout of Ayton on Sunday. And I'm told they all got rave reviews of him as a teammate. But listen, the pressure now is on in Los Angeles to build a winner, a contender around Luka Doncic and LeBron James. They've needed a center. Rob Pelinka, their president of basketball operations, he's spoken since the end of last season. We need to find a starting center, someone that can serve as a lob threat for Luka Doncic. 2 days into free agency, Rob Pelinka, DeAndre Ayton's agents, reached an agreement on a 2-year deal with a player option for the big man to be in LA.
Bit of an injury-plagued season for Ayton last year in Portland. He was limited to just 40 games, but he did shoot 56% from the field in the games that he played. Now, El Duncan back with you on SportsCenter with more on our breaking news just this hour. Shams Charania reporting that former #1 overall pick DeAndre Ayton cleared waivers and agreed to a deal with the Lakers. 2 years with a player option. He negotiated a buyout with the Blazers because he said he wanted to play for a winner, and there was apparently some stiff competition to get him. But alas, he's in Hollywood. And here's what a potential lineup could look like for the Lakers with Ayton sliding into that starting center role. He does, of course, add a much-needed size to a Lakers team that ranked in the bottom third of the league in rebounding percentage last season. Let's bring in our front office insider, Bobby Marks, for much more on this and to break it down. Let's talk about it. How you like the fit, Ayton, with the Lakers?
Yeah, I mean, considering where they were about 10 hours ago, it's certainly an improvement here. I mean, we had Jared Vanderbilt as their starting center, and no offense to Jared Vanderbilt, but he's better served coming off the bench. Ayton was the best available center that was left in the free agent market, certainly coming off that buyout here. I think 82% of his shots or field goal percentage at the rim last year. I think the one concern for me, El, is not really a paint presence as far as blocking shots, less than 1 last year in Portland here, but certainly fills a need, something the Lakers needed. There's still some work to do, especially for that bench. They need some perimeter shooting, but it's a good start for an offseason that started off a little bit slow here.
Yeah, a good start. I would say the odds makers are not overwhelmed by the moves because their odds, the Lakers, to win the Western Conference moved from plus 1,000 to plus 900 with the Ayton acquisition. Let's go over to Milwaukee because we know they've lost 2 of their key pieces. Damian Lillard, Brook Lopez are both gone. They did land Miles Turner, but one anonymous exec told ESPN this move is, quote, reckless. What are your thoughts on the offseason that they're having?
I don't know if I'd go reckless. I'd say probably more desperate. I mean, I think when you look at where Milwaukee was, and listen, they took the Damian Lillard money and they stretched it out over 5 years. It's basically, Al, if I gave you a credit card and said you had 0% interest on it, but you had to pay 40% in years 2 to 5 when you start paying something, that's where the cost is going to hit Milwaukee here, is that it's not about the future, it's about the now for Milwaukee. When you add Miles Turner to this roster in Milwaukee, they'll figure it out, the dead cap hit down the road here, but it's something they had to do. They didn't have many options at all when you look at their roster and the lack of draft equity here. That was really their lone big move, was to take that Lillard money, stretch it out, and going out and get a player like Miles Turner.
If you gave me a credit card with no limit, by the way, and then said I would have to pay 40% of taxes before that hit, I would probably get it.
Phoenix area radio host John Gambadoro, and now Austin's agent has issued a very strong response. I'm Trevor Lane. This is the LakersNation.com YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications as well. All right, so here's what started it all. John Gambadoro the other day talking about the Lakers, their future, and asserting that Austin Reeves and LeBron James both do not enjoy playing basketball with Luka Doncic. Take a listen.
LeBron does not like playing with Luka. Reeves does not like playing with Luka. Reeves does not like getting the ball with 2 seconds left on the shot clock. LeBron is not fond of playing with Luka. The Lakers are going to turn their attention to build around Luka, not LeBron. Of
course.
So this is Luka's team now. I would not be shocked if like he'll probably come back, but I wouldn't say it's a guaranteed no-brainer LeBron comes back to the Lakers, because there are guys that don't like playing with Luka. LeBron does not.
All right, so there are guys who don't like playing with Luka, and specifically naming LeBron James and Austin Reeves as players who have those types of feelings. Now, he also noted that this is Luka's team now, which, yes, we know the Lakers are building around Luka Doncic. He is correct in that. But Austin Reeves' agent, Aaron Riley, saying any belief that Austin does not like playing with Luka is completely false. This was his statement. Austin has nothing but the utmost respect for Luka and truly enjoys playing alongside him. Any suggestion to the contrary is completely false. He's excited to be on the court with Luka, both now and in the future. Now, the "and in the future" part, but might be, some good news there for Lakers fans. Obviously, more confirmation about Austin Reeves and his intentions moving forward when we do see what's going on with Austin contractually. And again, that is a very strong response, refuting the idea that Austin does not enjoy playing with Luka. We look at what's going on with Austin Reeves and his contract. Did not sign an extension with the Lakers this summer. Currently one of the best value contracts in the entire NBA. Certainly not paid at market value. Will look to fix that next summer in 2026 when he has a player option, can be a free agent and get a new deal. And that's got to be a little bit nerve-wracking for the Lakers side of things, to have a player of Austin Reeves' caliber hitting free agency, though he has given every indication that he would like to stay with the Los Angeles Lakers. In fact, here's what he said about the topic when I interviewed him a couple of weeks ago.
Because you were talking about how you want to spend your career as a Los Angeles Laker. Can you expand on that a little bit? What makes you want to be a Laker for life?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up a Lakers fan. I was a huge Kobe fan, and for the Lakers to be the first team that I was involved with, obviously on the two-way, and then the contract, kind of just the story, and the fans in LA have treated me, great ever since day one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like a second home to me. I mean, I'll be on the road and I'm like, I can't wait to go home. And people are like, you want to go to Arkansas? I'm like, nah, I want to go. I was talking about LA. I want to go to Arkansas too, but yeah, LA feels like home to me. I feel like we, are right there to creating something special. Mm-hmm. And I want to win a championship more than anything, especially with that organization. So, yeah, I want to be there. So
it doesn't sound like Austin is planning on leaving the Lakers when he does hit free agency, and this statement asserting that he does enjoy playing with Luka Doncic, and any assertion to the contrary is completely false. that gives us more certainty about his desire to remain a Los Angeles Laker. Now, there have been a number of people who've questioned, Lakers fans and non-Lakers fans, who have questioned the long-term fit of Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves together in a backcourt. Specifically, the defensive side of the ball has been a bit of a concern there. And understandably, both players can get targeted on the defensive side. And so on paper, I think it's fair to have some concerns about the defense. Yet, when you do run the numbers and you see what Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic did as a duo moving into the future here without LeBron James on the floor, they were actually really impressive last season. Now, it's not a big enough sample size for us to definitively say that's it. The Luka-Austin duo just works. But the numbers are nonetheless impressive. In 500 possessions, they were a plus 18.8, ranked in the 98th percentile defensively. And then in the offensive side, the 96th percentile in points per possession, 99th percentile in point differential. Again, too small of a sample size. I think the Lakers will explore this much more this coming season to get a better sense. But that's a pretty positive sign right there about the feasibility of an Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic partnership, and we'll see what that looks like moving forward if, when we get a bigger sample size, these numbers hold true. On the defensive side of the ball, Austin, I did ask him about that as well, and here's what he had to say about the pairing of himself and Luka and the criticism that the two of them can't be in an effective defense together.
Now moving forward, you're on this team with Luka. Now you guys can get ready to play together. What do you think about the strengths and weaknesses of that potential pairing with yourself and Luka at least on the offensive end, in a backcourt together?
Yeah, I think it brings it brings so much chaos offensively because you got two guys that obviously I'm not putting myself in Luka's category because he's top 3 player in the NBA, but brings two guys in the 1-2 spot, and then you obviously have Bron too that are willing passers that can create chaos on defense. So therefore, I think it's going to be tough for teams to stay in front of us, and I feel like we can get good looks every possession. And then defensively, we just have to lock down and just be with it mentally every possession. Right after the trade, I think for like a month or 2 months, we had the top 5 defense in the NBA. So we've shown that we can do that. We just got to continue to grow in our schemes and how we want to do that and be smart with all that.
That's been the main criticism I've seen of the pairing with you and Luka, has been the defensive side of the ball. Do you have any concerns there, or do you look at that and say, hey, we were top 5 for that stretch here. Clearly that ceiling is there. We just need to get there consistently.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's everybody likes to blow things out of proportion.
Sure.
I think when you become a really good defense, it's not about one individual defender guarding the ball. It's about everybody that's locked in to rotations. If you do get beat, if I get beat on a slot drive, then the low man's got to be there, and the rotation on the backside's got to be there. Because to be honest, with how much talent's in the league, like you look at guys that are first, second team, all defense, they get blown by, some of the times too. So you got to be in situations to where if that does happen, then you have to be, connected every single possession. And I think that's what becomes a good defense.
So again, what does it all come down to? Well, the reports that Austin Reeves does not enjoy playing with Luka Doncic. Austin's agent saying, no, 100% false, not true. Austin enjoys playing with Luka and wants to and is excited to be on the court with him both now and in the future. Lakers Nation, give me your thoughts in the comment section.
Don't forget to leave a like. The Los Angeles Lakers' future is a bit in flux right now. LeBron James plans to play this season, but he may want to get traded. If he stays put, this is likely his last year with the Lakers. It's logical for both sides to move on. James is going to turn 41 during the season, and Los Angeles needs to start building around Luka Doncic, who is much younger. However, Doncic is going to need a star running mate at some point. It's no secret that Doncic is very close with Denver Nuggets superstar and 3-time MVP Nikola Jokic. While there's been little indication that Jokic wants out of Denver, Bleacher Report's Eric Pincus floated the idea that the Lakers are planning to move on from the James era in an effort to go after Jokic in 2027, when he has a chance to become a free agent. Given that he can opt out after 2026-27, the threat of finishing out his contract and leaving for the Lakers, who theoretically would have the spending power in 2027 to sign him outright as a free agent, leaving Denver with nothing, is why there's a 2027 plan at all, Pincus wrote. The hope is that Jokic's undeniable bond with Doncic is why he picks the Lakers. Denver would get most of what the Lakers have in terms of young players and draft compensation. Austin Reeves has a low enough cap hold as a free agent. LA could absorb Jokic into cap room, pay Reeves over $30 million a season while retaining Doncic, who may extend with the Lakers when eligible in August. Jokic on the Lakers would be a massive for the NBA, and it's hard to see any team beating him and Doncic in a 7-game series. However, the Nuggets could be thinking the same thing, according to Pincus. And you, fan, what do you think about Jokic Lakers situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.